Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Dead Meat, the kill count for the 1977 movie The Hills Have Eyes. It's time to check out possibly the forefather of all. I have no idea how to properly explain this movie that will not get me demonetized. So let's just hop in and check it out.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at the original The Hills Have Eyes, released in 1977. Hills Have Eyes was written, directed, and edited by Wes Craven, 7 years before he'd create our favorite nightmare demon, Freddy Krueger, and nearly 20 years before he directed Scream. Even so, this wasn't Craven's first film. In 1972, after leaving his job as a college professor, he made the highly disturbing Last House on the Left. It was a rape revenge exploitation film that proved pretty successful despite its budget of less than $100,000. This follow-up may not be quite as extreme as Last House, but Hills is still an uncompromising film, featuring animal death, cannibalism, and more sexual assault. Filmed on location in the Mojave Desert, it follows the Carter family as their car breaks down on their way to Los Angeles. Stranded, they fall victim to an inbred family of cannibals based on the Scottish legend of Sawney Bean, which is always the most fucked up basis you can have for a story. It's why Jack Ketchum's Off-Season is still one of the darkest horror novels I've ever read. Though relentless in its misery, the movie has thematic through lines, such as the economic disparity of rural communities and the disconnect they feel when faced with their suburban mirror images. It also features solid performances, with a cast that includes future horror legends Dee Wallace and Michael Berryman. Hills would get a sequel in 1985, written and directed by Craven, and a 2006 remake that you may be more familiar with, which would have its own sequel the following year. I'd love to look at them sometime, but right now we're just sticking with the original, given to us by a master of horror. This movie is messed up for almost as messed up as this intro now, thank you!
Oh, hey man, are you good?
Love it, James?
Oh, sorry. It's just TikTok keeps telling me I exist in the context of all that came before, but I don't know what came before. Oh, well, what a coincidence. I've actually just partnered with MyHeritage for this video, so I can learn more about my family history.
Okay.
Oh, cool. But MyHeritage, this movie is messed up for way more reasons than the kills, but that doesn't mean we can't still count them.
Alright, let's see just how many people are.
The movie begins with opening credits that almost look like comic book panels. I like it. We're in deserted ass, run down like a motherfucking Nevada. This looks like Ernest Burkhart swept through town. Old man Fred, who owns a gas station, is sick of this shit, and sick of his hill people neighbors.
You folks have to go rob a goddamn Air Force PX for God's sakes?
Ruby's not like the rest of the family, and hates the desert almost as much as she likes spiking the camera. Fred ain't sympathetic.
Take me with you.
What?
Dude straight up hacks a lung out at the idea. A lot of stories feature city folk intruding into and being hunted in rural environments. But Hills Have Eyes is interesting in that we meet some of the rural characters first. Our suburbanites arrive in no time. The Carter family from Cleveland, Ohio. There's retired cop Big Bob, loving mom Ethel, and their 3 kids, daughters Lynn and Brenda, and son and Baba parent Bobby. Aw, man, he's a Buckeye. Older daughter Lynn also has her own daughter, baby Katie, with her husband Doug, tamer of beasts in short shorts. The beasts are their 2 German shepherds, Beauty and, well, Beast. The Carters want to visit a silver mine, but Fred tells them to go on and get. This place is a damn Air Force testing site or something. And, oh yeah, there be cannibals in them hills.
You folks go right to California and have a good trip.
They won't. Big Bob immediately ignores Fred's instructions and gets his family lost in the desert. Good job, Big Bob, you big boob.
All right, everybody, shut up, that's it.
I'm sorry, Bob, what was that?
All right, everybody, shut up, that's it.
Did you say, all right, everybody sits up the chit?
All right, everybody, shut up, that's it.
No, he says that's it. He's saying out. He says, "All right, everyone, that's it. Shut up." Damn, now I'm kind of glitzing on what he said. Never mind.
Chip, Bob. In no time at all, we see the very creepy coordination of the hill people from afar.
Mama, Pluto, you see a station wagon and a trailer?
That's what Mercury said, if you can believe him.
But they don't need to worry about stopping the Carters. They're done in by a low-flying military jet and a rabbit in the road. It causes Bob to crash the family car and ends their precious little field trip pretty damn quick. With their car axle snapped, the Carters are sitting ducks. Not that they know it yet. Look at Bobby with the backflips. Damn, man. You a gymnast or something? Meanwhile, Big Bob's just flipping mad. Dude's an angry cop with a violent past.
I'm even shot at on 2 separate occasions by my own men.
Wait, what? Why were people trying to frag you, Bob? They get sick of being told to sit up the chit?
Shut up, that's it.
He decides he'll take his...
Okay, no, he's saying in the shut up, that's it. But he says it like through his teeth.
gun and walk the 15 miles back to Fred's gas station. Doug will go by himself the other way and see what he finds. The women will stay back with Bobby and another gun.
Alright, who's gonna die?
Easy pickings now.
I don't know about that, dude. You ever fight a gymnast with a gun before? Bullets be flying all over the place. Hills Have Eyes has just as much heart as eyes, because the Carter family is nice and loves each other. Even though they kind of laugh about a time that Beast killed someone else's pet poodle.
Oh boy, was that lady ever fit to be tied.
Was Daddy ever mad? He had to pay vet bills for a dead poodle.
Oh, jeez.
What the fuck's the matter with y'all? Beauty hates hearing about Beast's beastly past, so she runs off into the hills. She attacks
where you
somebody,
going,
but
Beauty?
then Bobby hears her yell, and by the time he buckeyes her, she's dead. Someone yells and scares Bobby away, but while he's hauling ass back to the RV, he eats shit and knocks himself out.
Wow.
Craven was
Jeez.
reluctant to do another horror film after doing Last House on the Left.
I resisted until I was broke.
Hills had a budget of $300,000, 3 times what they had for Last House, but still basically nothing. To keep costs down, Craven wrote a story with a tiny cast. They rented their cameras from a pornographer and used an inexperienced non-union crew of only about a dozen people.
Not really knowing a great deal about, exactly what we were doing.
As the sun sets, the day's sweltering heat gives way to frigid desert cold. Bobby finally gets back, looking like someone killed his dog, but he doesn't tell the others what he saw. They tell him about a dirty radio call they got.
He's just breathing into it. That's creepy.
What the hell was that?
Wow, things get naughty as soon as the sun goes down. It's like the Girls Gone Wild commercial of the desert. Bobby comes outside to find Beast missing, and even worse, Doug is back. At least he's got cable wire?
Look at all of this. I mean, it's no wonder we're paying higher taxes. They're throwing this stuff away.
Okay then. Bobby tries to tell Doug about Beauty's demise, but can't because those gosh darn women are always around. And Bobby ain't about to tell them shit. His grown-ass sisters might as well be this terrified-looking baby. Why is that kid so scared? Big Bob gets to the gas station and finds a drunken Fred, who tells him all about what's going on. See, back in the 1920s, when this town was new and bustling, Fred had a happy life with a wife and daughter. But then his wife gave birth to a monstrous son, who popped out 20 pounds and hairy. Kid kept killing animals and shit, then burned down Fred's house with his wife and daughter inside.
Well, baby girl was a cinder when I found her, but this monster kid wasn't even singed. I knew he'd done it. I hit him with a tire iron and I split his face wide open.
I really love John Stedman as Fred. He's got perfect crazy old man energy. Fred tried to ditch the kid by dropping him off in the desert, but he survived and kidnapped a woman and started a dirty desert clan with her. He became known as Jupiter, or Papa Jupe. And now that you know his story...
Oh no, there
he is! Fred's son drags him out to the longest backyard and beats his head with a tire iron, just like Papa did to him long ago. The patricider is gone by the time Bob gets outside and finds Fred's body adorned on a door. Papa Jupe's family of people eaters was heavily inspired by the legend of Sawney Bean. The Scottish tale concerns a prolific family of cannibalistic cave dwellers. Craven found it interesting that when they were caught, they were executed via gruesome torture.
And I just thought, wow, what a great kind of A-B of culture. You know, how the most civilized can be the most savage, and the most savage can be the most civilized.
With Hills Have Eyes, he explored that
right
theme of civilized people being broken down to their base instincts. It happens to a comfortable middle-class family, the mirror image of the hill people abandoned by society.
Wait, that's what's considered face split open? And just a skull from the tip of the nose to the bridge between the eyes is to about the middle of the right cheek? I guess it is technically split open.
Big Bob starts running back to his family, but dude, you're 15 miles away, and it ain't easy to run while getting hit with savage mockery.
You son of a bitch.
Might as well hit the dirt and start shooting randomly. When that genius plan fails to do anything, Big Bob comes face to face with Papa Jupe. He stuffs dead dog into Big Bob's big mouth while nailing him to a cross. Goddamn. Lynn and Doug leave the camper for some station wagon tallywhacking, not noticing when the gas gets siphoned by Michael Berryman. He plays Pluto, one of Jupe's sons, who sneaks inside the RV and locks the door while Bobby's lured out into the desert by dog noises. They're being done by Mars, another son, with perfect precision as an extra layer of psychological torture.
Good naming scheme at least.
Come on.
Pluto starts raiding them for weapons, food, and Coca-Cola. Dude really took a storage crate and held F. Bobby gets back and finally tells Doug and Lynn the truth.
Beauty's been dead since this afternoon.
Robert Houston gives Bobby a nice full character and plays being confused and scared really well.
I was so scared, I ran away.
The family's isolation feels authentic because it was. They filmed in Apple Valley in the Mojave Desert, way the fuck in the middle of nowhere. They literally picked it at random on a map and were warned against shooting there by locals.
You go out there, you'll die.
Conditions were unsurprisingly harsh.
There were a lot of ways to get hurt out there. I mean, you know, everything had spines and spikes and burrs.
They filmed 12-hour days and 6-day weeks. To make the movie, they had to live the movie, meaning boiling temperatures during the day and freezing temperatures at night. Not to mention all the wind, dirt, and dust.
You're all dirty and gritty, and then you're crunching on your sandwich.
Though he never complained, Michael Berryman probably had it the worst. His dad was a Navy surgeon exposed to radiation at Hiroshima. That caused him to be born with hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, which gave him birth defects, including a lack of sweat glands. Berryman's distinctive look is why he was cast here, but his kindness and intelligence is why he's managed to sustain a career that still continues today, well into his 70s. Before Bobby can get back inside the RV, Pluto uses the radio to call for a giant explosion. The family hears Big Bob screaming from the desert, ushering Ethel and the others to run off towards him. After they're gone, Mars hops down, looking like a go-get. But he and Pluto ain't here to give the happiest home in these hills have eyes. They're here for much more depraved reasons. Pluto starts to rape Brenda, while Mars nonchalantly eats raw meat. Then he makes a meal of the family bird. Don't worry though. No! He can still sell it to that blind kid in Dumb and Dumber. This is possibly the most upsetting scene in this very upsetting movie. And it gets even worse when Mars spots baby Katie.
Baby's fat. You fat. Fat and juicy.
Oh, come on. It was one of the first things they shot, and Craven was grateful to actress Susan Lanier for finding a way to break the tension.
I had secretly whispered to Michael, when he calls action, let's really make out. And then they throw back that curtain. There was Michael and I doing this very romantic love scene.
The others find that Big Bob's a big blob of fire. For that explosion, production torched a Joshua tree, even though they're protected. I mean, they shot the whole damn thing without any permits or permission, of course. The family takes Bob's big charred body down, but it really messes up Ethel. She's sent into hysterics at the sight of her toasty spouse. Lynn takes her mom away, and Bobby runs off into the night with his gun. That leaves friggin' Doug.
Well, I guess technically, no, that is.
Only one to witness Big Bob's last breath. The ladies get back to the RV, where they come across Mars mid-baby napping. They try to sweep up the area's crime, but Mars just shoots Ethel in the gut. Then he turns the gun on Lynn and shoots her too. And though she gets a stab in, he kills her with a second gunshot. Sucks to see Dee Wallace go out like that. While she's a seasoned kill count vet now, this was only the then 29-year-old's second film.
Oh, Hills really is the start of my, professional career.
Pluto takes the baby like a Mojave dingo, and Mars tee-hees away as Bobby shoots after him. Doug has a mini meltdown over his dead wife, but finds his mother-in-law still living. Let's just hope he wasn't too attached to the bird. These people are so out of their element and in complete disbelief. The performances and filmmaking really sell their shock.
Where's the kids? Bed yet?
Yeah, Brenda's right here, and Bobby's in the kitchen.
As unforgiving as the movie is, it was almost even worse. They had to cut a bunch of stuff after the original version was rejected due to, quote, wretched excess.
In your face X. It was just plain old goddamn X coming at you X.
With the baby secured, Pluto and Mars radio into their eye in the sky. It's their little brother Mercury, the comedian of the crew.
Maybe I make a joke like last time and eat the toes.
Ha! Great material, Merc.
Wait, what?
Beast just showed up, and he ain't a fan of dead baby jokes, so he pushes the lookout from his perch. My, Mercury. Smile at least. You can't say no to the fury of the beast.
Good
Mercury
beast.
was played by producer Peter Locke in a cameo, a friend of Craven's who convinced him to do the movie by putting up the money. He suggested the desert setting in the first place, and was a very hands-on producer, suffering the conditions alongside the rest of the cast and crew. Beast goes from good boy to best boy when he... Hold up, is that dog about to use a radio? I mean, almost. He trots it back to his family, and allows them to hear the Jupe clan communicate. The boys bring the baby back like a Thanksgiving turkey to their parents Papa and Mama Jupe. Also, their sister Ruby, whom we saw trying to leave. That's why Mama Jupe don't like her.
Baby dog's too good for a runaway slut like you.
Moms say the darndest things. The Farrow family's home and hunting attire was provided by art director Bob Burns. Burns had worked on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a big inspiration for Craven, and even recycled some of that movie's bones and other materials for this one. The clan gets concerned when they can't reach Mercury on the radio, so Papa Jupe sends Pluto out to find him. Pluto finds Mercury dead, so Papa Jupe promises the burnt body of Big Bob that he's gonna kill his family as revenge.
Come out here and stick your life in my face. That was a bad mistake. I thought you were smart and tough.
It's a good and scary monologue for the big bad, done with a mouthful of burnt Big Bob. The meat was actually a leg of lamb roast on set, and the hungry actors were more than happy to dig into it. As night gives way to dawn, the sun begins to rise on another funky day.
I mean, I'm sure lamb does taste good, but I couldn't eat it without accidentally thinking it is the
I feel
guy.
like Isaac Hayes is about to roll up in this bitch. Hope he's driving a hearse though, because Ethel Carter is dead by dawn. You know, something tells me this vacation isn't gonna turn itself around. Papa Jupe and Pluto are on the move, stopping only to radio in crank calls.
We are recommending that until we can get to you, you stand on your heads.
Stand on our heads. That's code.
Just stand on your heads with your thumbs up.
Man, the humiliation never stops for these poor folk. Thankfully, they've got Beast, and Doug, I guess, who releases Beast as he reaches the Jupe camp in hopes of saving his baby. Beast immediately makes for a good soldier, tackling Pluto and chomping into the former planet. Beast drags him out of his orbit and bites into his neck, then tears at it until Pluto bleeds out. In addition to Sawney Bean and the Grapes of Wrath,
Beast is awesome.
Craven took inspiration from Roman mythology. He named the Pharaoh family members after planets and used it as a basis for their relationships. For instance, Mars is bloodthirsty and also terrified of his father Jupiter. Ruby's name doesn't follow the convention. Craven said she was the gem of the family. Jupiter radios for Mars to kill the baby, but when Ruby hands it over, it's just a pig in a blanket. Like the snack food. He gets Mars so mad, he turns into a Kaiser Chief.
Ruby?
Every actor had to cry.
It is such a good thing that it's got to be a fake baby, because we all see the way that leg is swinging.
During their audition, but Janice Blythe got the part of Ruby by beating other actresses in a foot race. When Ruby runs into Doug, she gives him his baby back and joins up with him. As brutal as this movie may be, the baby was always going to be okay.
There was a phrase that went around the cast and crew: if you kill the baby, we're leaving.
Bobby and Brenda set up a trap using their dead mom and all that cable Doug found. I guess you did good, Doug. Sorry for ragging on you. They're able to ensnare Papa Jupe and drag him across the ground, but then the cable breaks. Damn it, Doug! And he comes after them on foot. They set up an ingenious little trap with the RV full of gas and a match-striking alarm system. Jupe is cautious, but the thing blows up anyway. And production only had one trailer, and thus one chance to blow it up.
You knew that was the end of the movie, because they weren't going to go buy another one.
Before the kids can celebrate too much, the King of Planets attacks Bobby and freaking scoop slams him. Brenda and Bobby team up though, and the kid shoots Papa Jupe down to the ground. I thought he'd be the last one standing. But he's not. Mars is, who's currently chasing after Doug and Ruby. She hides in a hole with the baby while Mars chases Doug into a crevasse. They get into a fight and Mars is coming out on top when Ruby saves the day with a rattlesnake, using it to bite her brother in the neck. That was an actual venomous snake Blythe had to pick up. It wasn't defanged or milked or nothing. Doug decides to work faster than Venom and stabs Mars to death with vigor and persistence. He's like little Tommy Jarvis swinging away there. He even gets his own freeze frame. And it's red. And
freeze frame.
Then the movie ends. Oh, okay.
Wait,
how many
that's it?
kills were in these hills? Let's find out and get to...
Wait, why did it end like that? Oh, well, there we go.
There were 8 kills in The Hills Have Eyes, with the victims consisting of 6 men, 2 women, and no babies. That's a clean 3-to-1 ratio of dude to lady victims. We've only seen this count and breakdown twice before on the show, in The Babysitter and The Exorcist 3. With a runtime of 90 minutes, The Hills Have Eyes had a kill on average every 11.25 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Big Bob! I mean, a real Joshua Tree died for it to happen. I feel like I've got to honor it somehow.
Oh yeah.
Dome Machete for lamest kill will go to Ethel Carter, who took 1 bullet but an entire night to die. That is a drawn-out Dome Machete. And that's it. The Hills Have Eyes came out in 1977 and struggled at the box office thanks to Smokey and the Bandit. Damn you, Burt Reynolds! Next week we kick off October with a return to the VHS series and 2 kill counts a week. Wish us luck. Until then, I'm James A. Denise. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
Well, they said that we're returning with VHS, so I guess it's going to be the final one they do, hopefully. Anyway, let's see what it is.
People, it's Dead Meat Video.
Hey, we're the team at Dead Meat Video.
Back with another Kill Count recommendation.
This week, it's VHS 4.
Oh, that is VHS 94.
No, that's too many!
Travel back to 1994 for a wraparound about a SWAT team busting a trippy drug compound.
29.9 means erase the fucking tape.
Looks like someone didn't do their job. This footage is still here for everybody to see. Well, except this guy. Or these guys.
Oh,
they don't have eyes.
We don't need more tech. We need a grave.
Well, you know, I think that's gonna be it. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below. And I'll see all of y'all next week when we come back with the Dead Meat kill count for VHS 94. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.